Meredith Grey wakes up with the dull ache of a headache and the sharp awareness that she is not alone. The man beside her, dark-haired, confident, unfamiliar. For a moment, she was trying to piece together the night before. A bar, tequila, laughter, the kind of laughter that comes from two strangers who don't know each other's pasts and don't ask about futures. Just one night. That was the deal. Today is her first day as a surgical intern at Seattle Grace Hospital. Years of medical school have led to this moment, but instead of excitement, Meredith feels a knot of anxiety tightening in her chest. This isn't just any hospital either. This is where her mother, Alice Grey, worked, where her legacy still lingers in hallways and whispered conversations. Alice Grey, the brilliant, emotionally distant surgeon whose shadow Meredith has spent her entire life standing in. At Seattle Grace, the hospital hums with energy. Doctors move briskly through corridors, pagers beep relentlessly, and patients fill beds with stories that will soon intersect with the lives of the interns. Meredith joins a small group of other new interns, all strangers to one another, all pretending to be more confident than they feel. There's Cristina Yang, sharp-eyed and unapologetically ambitious, who immediately makes it clear that surgery isn't just a job to her, it's everything. There's Izzie Stevens, warm and earnest, carrying a softness that contrasts with the steel edges of the hospital. George O'Malley, awkward, kind, and clearly overwhelmed. Tries to make conversation while struggling not to trip over his own nerves. And Alex Karev, arrogant and blunt, hides his insecurity behind sarcasm and bravado. They stand together as Dr. Miranda Bailey enters, small in stature, but commanding in presence. She wastes no time establishing control. She tells them they are her interns now and that their lives, for the foreseeable future, belong to this hospital. Bailey assigns them to cases, sending them scattering into the chaos of the hospital. Meredith finds herself paired with Alex, who immediately dismisses her with condescension. She pushes it aside and focuses on the patient in front of her, a woman who arrived with seizures and confusion, her condition deteriorating rapidly. Meredith listens carefully, asking questions, piecing together symptoms the way she was trained to do. Meanwhile, Cristina thrives in the intensity. She is fascinated by the operating rooms, by the procedures, by the prestige of surgery. She watches attending surgeons with awe, particularly Dr. Preston Burke, whose calm precision captivates her. Cristina is not here to make friends. She is here to be the best. Izzie bonds with her patients almost instantly. George, assigned to a different patient, struggles to assert himself, stumbling over medical jargon and second-guessing every decision he makes. He wants to help, but fear keeps getting in the way. Meredith, navigating her own case, begins to feel the weight of responsibility. This isn't a classroom anymore. These decisions matter. Lives hang in the balance. Then, in a cruel twist of fate, Meredith comes face to face with the man from her bed that morning. He's standing in the hospital, confident and composed, wearing a white coat. Dr. Derek Shepard, an attending neurosurgeon. The realization hits her like a punch to the chest. Derek, for his part, seems amused, almost charmed by the coincidence. Meredith, however, is mortified. She tries to distance herself to re-establish professionalism, but the dynamic has already shifted. Power, embarrassment, attraction, they all tangle together in ways Meredith isn't prepared to handle. Meanwhile, George steps into the OR beside Dr. Burke, eager but shaking with nerves. He hesitates, second-guesses himself, and every mistake feels louder in the quiet room. Burke sees it all, offering only silence and precision. After too many failed attempts, Alex gives George the name 007, 0 for 7. The nickname lingers, marking one of George's lowest moments and the beginning of his struggle to believe in himself. As the day progresses, the interns face their first real test. A patient named Katie Bryce arrives, suffering from a brain aneurysm that has already ruptured once. She's young, vibrant, and terrified. Derek takes the lead on her case, and Meredith watches closely. drawn to both the patient's vulnerability and Derek's expertise. Katie's condition worsens and surgery becomes unavoidable. The operating room is tense, almost sacred, Meredith observes as Derek operates with steady hands, navigating the delicate structures of the brain. The interns see, perhaps for the first time, what greatness in surgery looks like and how high the stakes truly are. But things don't go as planned. Complications arise. Katie crashes. Outside the OR, emotions run high. The interns are shaken. Bailey maintains control, but even she feels the pressure. This is the moment that separates theory from reality. Someone might die today, and there's nothing any of them can do but wait. When Katie stabilizes, the relief is palpable, but the victory is fragile. Meredith realizes that survival in this hospital isn't about winning every battle. It's about enduring loss, fear, and uncertainty over and over again. As the interns regroup, bonds begin to form. Shared trauma has a way of bringing people together. Cristina respects Meredith's instincts. Izzie checks in on George, offering kindness without judgment. Later, Meredith returns home, exhausted both physically and emotionally. She finds her mother, Alice Grey, sitting in the dark, distant, and critical as ever. Alice dismisses Meredith's exhaustion, belittles her accomplishments, and reminds her, intentionally or not, that she will never measure up. The interaction leaves Meredith hollow, but also strangely determined. She has spent her life trying to escape her mother's shadow, and now she realizes that survival may mean defining herself on her own terms. 5 interns have entered Seattle Grace Hospital, unaware that this place will shape them, break them, and rebuild them again and again.